Today it's all about Elton John.
Let's shed some light on it.
Hello and welcome to the darkened room of music conversation. Darren and I both love Elton John so much we thought we would dedicate this episode to him. I'm Chris.
And I'm Darren. Elton John has an illustrious recording career. Everybody knows that. Going all the way back to the 1960s.
Yeah.
He's got so much music out there. Just a wonderful discography. I love so many of his albums, so many of his songs.
Me too.
And we could literally be here for days talking about all the things and songs and material that we love from Elton John.
Yeah, so I hope you've set some time aside. We're going to be here a while. No, we're not doing that.
Not really. We decided just to narrow it down to the scope of a discussion of our top 10 personal favorite Elton songs. We'll go back and forth. You know the format out there if you've watched the show.
I always enjoy this game.
I do too. So one just amazing quick fact about Elton John. Do you realize that he had a song on the pop top 40 for every year from 1970 to 1997?
Wow, is that like a record, you think?
It is a record.
It is a record, yeah.
And then he didn't make the charts in 98, but bounced right back in 99 and had a song on the charts.
There you go.
So just unbelievable to have that kind of longevity in the pop world when you think about pop artists that's coming and going constantly.
Yeah.
Tremendous feat.
Fantastic.
Why don't you kick us off with your number 10 most favorite Elton John song?
Okay, well, number 10 for me goes to 1988.
Okay, wow.
I Don't Want to Go On With You Like That.
Really?
I really, really love that song.
I do too.
I really loved the 80s stuff that Elton put out.
For the most part, I do too.
Yeah, I thought it was great. And I remember that song just hitting me just right. I was 17 years old then.
Yeah.
And loved that song.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're off to a great start already.
Yeah.
My number 10 song, also from the 80s, but a few years before that, from the album Too Low for Zero. I guess that's why they call it the blues.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's on my list too.
So we'll talk more about that later.
I'll bring it up here in a bit.
Yeah.
So
I really love that song. I thought it is just one of the better songs from the 80s that he put out. And I still enjoy it now.
Absolutely, yeah. All right. So number 9 for me is probably the first song most people recognize from 1970. It's Your Song.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I just love that song, and it's a very popular song from him.
Yeah.
It seems like an obvious pick, but I like it. So
I do too.
It's got to go on my list.
It didn't make my list, but I love the song.
Yeah.
And that's probably most of us the first song that we ever heard from Elton.
Yeah. You're exactly right. I remember the greatest hits when they put that out. That was track 1 on the greatest hits.
One song one.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, number 9 for me, also from the 80s, barely getting in there, from 1980, from the album 21 at 33. That was a reference. He had made 21 albums by age 33.
Yeah.
That's what that title meant.
But
the song is a Little Genie.
Ah.
At that time, it was really a return to form for him. He had kind of dabbled in disco, dance music, and tried a few things, experimental things that really wasn't working out so great for him. And so that was kind of a return to form and more of a straightforward pop rock song, and I still love it to this day.
Yeah, it's a good one. Didn't make my list, but I can't argue with it.
Right on.
Number 8 for me is from 1972 and Tiny Dancer.
All right.
Yeah, definitely one of my favorites.
See, I thought it would be higher on the list for you.
No, actually, as I was looking at it, there are other songs that I really do like more than this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still on my list, still in my top 10.
Yeah.
And, it was hard to rank them anyway.
Oh, man, so hard.
Yeah.
And any of these, man, you're like splitting hairs as far as greatness is concerned.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
All right, well, on the list up next for me at my number 8 is, and I know this is probably not on your list, I love it, from 1982, Empty Garden, Hey Hey Johnny.
That is a good song, yeah.
I just love it. Of course, it's a tribute to his good, dear friend, John Lennon, who was murdered a couple of years prior to that.
Yeah.
And I just love the feel of it. And there's certain parts of the song where he really sings it with a lot of emotion. And I think the song works. And I just always loved it.
Well, very nice, yeah. So, that was kind of a single that didn't really hit that high on the charts.
No, it didn't. I think maybe in the 20s, somewhere around there.
Well, funny enough, my number 7 is kind of one of those as well. It's one that people... It was a hit on the radio, but no one remembers that it was, an Elton John song.
Right.
or at least they don't think about it.
Yeah.
Who Wears These Shoes?
Wow.
From 1984.
Yeah, that's a great one.
I thought that was a great song, and it always made me mad that when you hear like classic rock radio and all that, they ignore that song.
They do.
Like an oldie station, so like you never hear it anymore.
And it's got an edge to it.
It does.
It rocks.
And I loved it. So, yeah.
I like it a lot.
Number 7 for me.
All right, well, number 7 for me, the title track from one of the greatest albums of the 70s, or greatest albums, period, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah, see, I knew that was coming when you said all that. That's on my list as well. So,
nice.
Yeah.
But we'll talk more about it.
We'll talk again later, yes.
Yeah.
All right, so we're at number 6 now. Yep. Now, from 1983, I guess that's why they call it the blues.
Cool.
So that's where it comes in for me.
All right.
I put this as track 1 on one of my mixtapes called Angles of Depression.
Yeah, I remember that mixtape.
Yeah. But, so I heard it over and over a lot because I listened to that mixtape so much. But it never wore old on me. It just made me love it more.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Holds up very well.
Definitely one of the finest songs he's written.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
All right, number 6 for me. Is that where we're at? Number 6?
Yes, that's right.
I know this is going to be higher on your list, but what gotta say? Rocket Man.
Yes, it is on my list.
Just love it. And, there's a particular artist I won't bring up. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you will. Mm-hmm. That's the only one that can do a comparable great version. In my opinion, but I love Elton so much. And you know what? I think about that whole space shuttle tragedy in '86. Remember, there was, I don't know if that was a local thing. They had edited in, audio from that disaster with Rocket Man. And it was played a lot on the radio back then.
I do remember that.
I can't help but think of that.
Yeah.
When I hear the song, but I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yep.
Okay, so that brings us to what, number 5?
Number 5 for you.
Number 5 for me is one that maybe you didn't put on your list because it's one of his 90s hits from 1992, The One.
Yeah, I had it on my list, and that's probably my number 1 honorable mention.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I scratched it off, but I love the song.
Yeah, it's polished and 90s sounding for all of those classic rock artists that went very contemporary then, but it's one of the best.
In my opinion, it's his best.
I'll put this song up against even the later 90s stuff by Sting.
Yeah, I agree.
And Rod Stewart. This was probably the finest classic rock solo artist song that came out in the 90s.
I cannot disagree with that. I just love the feel of it, the atmosphere. Cool video, too.
Absolutely.
Very cool. All right, number 5 for me, going back to the 70s, as we progress up the list, you'll see that that's my era.
Okay.
Honky Cat.
Really?
Just absolutely love it. I kind of liked when he would flirt with, country flavor sometimes.
Yeah.
And I just love the groove of that song, man. Every time I hear it, I think it sounds amazing. The recording's great. I just love it, man.
Yeah. I've got nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah.
But, I like the more emotional Elton John stuff. So I gravitate more towards that.
Well, let me interject right quick. With Elton, man, he covered a lot of ground. A lot of people,
he did.
That discovered him more in the 90s or whatever. It's not the full bag of what you get with Elton John. You got to go back to those early 70s records and he covered a lot of ground musically, a lot of edgy, hard rocking stuff, all the way to, Motown inspired stuff.
Yeah.
Very versatile artist.
Very, very, very much indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so number 4 for me from 1984, another 80s hit. Sad Songs Say So Much.
You got a lot of 80s songs in here.
I do.
Shocked.
I love Elton John in the 80s.
Yeah.
I guess I would say that I like the 80s and the 70s stuff pretty equally.
And I like the 70s way better. But.
Yeah.
But I like the 80s. I do, don't get me wrong.
The 80s stuff may be more because I was a teenager and it's more of the memory of that. And you seem to gravitate towards the stuff that you listened to growing up, especially as a teenager. That might be part of it.
I'm sure.
But I really do love this song.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
It's a good one. I mean, it's hard for me to pick my least favorite Elton songs.
Yeah.
And that would be a whole other show that's probably impossible for me.
Yeah. We won't be doing that show.
No, we won't. Number 4 for me, man, and this is, when we get to the top 4 Elton John songs ever, these are like some of my favorite songs ever, period. Okay?
Yeah.
Someone Saved My Life Tonight.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's number 4 for me.
Very nice. Yeah, I didn't have that one on my list.
Yeah, just love the vocal track, love the emotion in it. It's good. It's a very emotive song, and I just love the production when he would do those kind of songs.
Yeah,
just really like them.
I would say that would probably be an honorable mention for me.
Yeah.
So definitely, yeah. Okay, cool. So where are we at then? Number 3.
Number 3.
We've made it to the top 3.
Yep.
1972, and I will say that my top 3 are from the 70s.
All right.
So Rocket Man is what lands at number 3 for me.
Cool.
So, yeah. So, my favorite artist, Angie Aparo, what he was alluding to earlier, covers this song quite a bit.
Yeah.
Does a fantastic version.
It's amazing.
And he gave me a perspective of this song that I have never thought about. All the years that I'd listened to it, leading up to when I heard him do it. He was saying that the song hit him as an artist who's traveling out on the road, and he's gone from his family for a long time. And that's the meaning that he got from it. And
I think that's true. I think it was like an analogy for that.
Yeah, I think it was. And for some reason, I just never thought of that. I was thinking Major Tom, Space Odyssey kind of stuff.
Once again, I believe that this was an answer to that song.
Okay, well, that's, yes.
Up next for me, where are we at? Number 3 for me?
Number 3 for you, yeah.
It's Tiny Dancer. We've already talked about it. You had it lower on your list, but it's higher on mine. Just absolutely love it, man. It's just a great song, and oddly enough, we talked about this on a previous episode. I don't even know which one, that it really didn't get that high on the charts.
No, number 41 on the Billboard Hot 100.
It didn't even make the top 40, but the legacy and the way it has stuck around all these years, it's one of his more popular songs, I would say.
Funny how that happens.
So strange.
Yeah.
So strange. But that's my number 3.
Okay, so I'm on to my number 2, and I think you've already named this, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised at where your rankings are.
Yeah?
I really am. But yeah, that's cool, though.
Yeah, like I said, I like the emotional Elton John stuff. So these are the bigger production songs, very sweeping orchestra, some sort of orchestration in some of these.
A lot of them.
So that's why I love it so much.
Gus Dudgeon, who actually did the strings on, if I'm not mistaken, Drops of Jupiter, and that's why they brought him in, was because of his work on Elton John.
Well, there you go.
We'll have to double check that. We'll make a correction if that's not right. But I know whoever did the strings was connected to Elton John in the 70s.
Yeah.
I know that for sure.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, it pretty much sounds like an Elton John song.
It does. It really does. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, number 2 for me is Philadelphia Freedom.
I knew that's going to be near your top.
Yeah, that's my number 2. Just love what it's about. Love the happiness of it. And it rocks.
Yeah.
I just think it's got a nice edge to it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those songs I've just never gotten tired of.
It's a great one, yeah.
Yeah.
Time for my number 1?
Your number 1, let's hear it.
All right, my number 1 is from 1974. It is Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me.
I knew that. And once again, that was one of my honorable mentions. And once again, when I say something's an honorable mention from Elton John, that's way up on the musical scale.
Right. Yeah. Splitting hairs, just like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the orchestration in this, and
yeah,
it's. I remember when I bought the Greatest Hits CD. That was always one that I would go to like first. Like, I wouldn't just put it in and play. I'd go to that track first because I loved it so much, and I still do.
It's one of those the best atmospherics of probably any Elton song.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're ready for my number 1.
Yeah, let's hear your number 1.
This is really saying something. My number 1 Elton John song of all time is "Funeral for a Friend." Love Lies Bleeding.
That's an honorable mention for me too.
Yeah, just a really long, powerful intro. Great guitar playing. I love the guitar solo in that song. And it was at a time when there wasn't a whole lot of rock and roll records that were being made that were based around the piano.
True.
And when Goodbye Yellow Brick Road came out, I remember Jonathan Cain from Journey once said, when he heard that album, it changed his life. He was like, it's possible to make a rock and roll record on piano.
Yeah.
And I just think it holds up so well. If you've never, blessed yourself by hearing the entire Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album, you got to hear it because it is a masterpiece all the way through.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a little funny little bit of trivia. I'm friends with Neil Kernan, the amazing producer. The whistling part on Benny and the Jets is Neil.
Ah, wow. I think you told me that. I think you did,
Yeah, he was there. I think it was recorded at the Trident Studios in England.
Yeah.
And he was one of the engineers on the original record, and they needed a whistler, and my buddy Neil is who did that all throughout that song.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so what's your favorite Elton John song? Drop it in the comments. Give this video a like if you liked our list.
Yeah, and there's no right or wrong answers. When it comes to Elton John, they're all right answers.
Exactly right, yeah.
and so let's, just real quick, if I had an honorable mention that we didn't name, forget it. We've already done it. We're good.
Okay, all right.
Thanks for watching this episode of In a Darkened Room. You can find the link to this episode's companion Spotify playlist in the description. Darren and Chris welcome your comments. You can leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. Follow In a Darkened Room on Twitter to receive updates and submit your ideas for what we should discuss in upcoming episodes. Darren and Chris are also on Instagram, so give them a follow there as well. All of these links can be found in the description below. While you're there, be sure to click subscribe and ring the bell.
All right, random topic time, and let's draw from the bowl.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Never know what you're going to get out of here.
Let me draw something good now.
Yeah, please do.
All right, here we go.
All right.
And the topic is the first night on the radio. What are your memories? We were both in the radio world, DJs.
Oh, this is so embarrassing.
Yeah, okay. Well, you go first then.
Are we talking professionally or at college?
I guess college.
Okay, so college. I showed up. It was a 3 p.m. slot. I was supposed to show up and actually do training. And whoever was supposed to train me hadn't showed up. So
that's college radio.
Yeah, there was another girl there that's like, okay, well, you just got to go on the air. And I'm like, huh?
Yeah, you have this feeling that like 5 million people's going to be listening.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And she's like, you got to read the news, 20 minutes of news. Here's your copy. And I stumbled through that so bad.
Yeah.
The mic went on, and I was like, "This is." I was just bumbling. I was a bumbling fool, and but I made it through it.
Yeah.
And I remember grabbing a cart for the first song, and it was "When It's Love" by Van Halen.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think you were probably on the air before me.
Yeah.
Mine would have been in the fall of 1988, and
I think I went up there in summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a few months after you.
Yeah.
And I was kind of turned loose too. I sat there with a guy for like half an hour.
Yeah.
He kind of showed me how everything worked, and then I'll see you later. I'm out of here. And that was how you got trained in those days.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. One of the only songs I remember playing that night that I played for sure. One was Madeline from Winger.
Winger, yeah.
And I remember I played this song on purpose by a group called Jafria called Radio. And one of the catches of the song is "You're on the Radio."
Yeah.
And I also played, it's coming back to me now, I played Rush, Digital Man that same night too.
Yeah.
So those are the 3 songs I remember. Only other thing I remember is I was absolutely god-awful terrible.
Right, I was too, and I was nervous as hell.
But you got to start somewhere.
Exactly right. I think we
did all right.
around our own. Yeah, we did okay.
Within a few years, we were both on major radio stations in Nashville. So
that's right. So we had to be doing something right.
It's not where you start; it's where you end up. It's where you finish in life. Let that be a lesson.
That's right. All right. Thanks for joining us, guys. Hit subscribe. Hit the like button. That helps us out. That helps us grow.
And check out those Elton John records because they're amazing.
They'll be in the Spotify playlist. Yeah. You can go down there. You can listen to the songs. Click on the album and hear the whole album if you want.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Highly recommend Elton.
Take care, guys. We'll see you soon.